I was never the favorite son. Not even close. But I never stopped being Allah's servant. This is my story, not just of heartbreak and distance, but of what happens when you refuse to let pain steal your faith. I grew up in a house that was full, but I always felt empty. I was the middle child, and like so many others in my place, I was just there. Not the firstborn pride, not the youngest joy, just me. My parents, especially my father, always praised my older brother. Look at him, he's calm, so responsible. Even in front of guests, they'd smile at him and sigh at me. But what they didn't see was this. I helped my mother in the kitchen. I studied hard. I cleaned. I even helped my father in the garden when he was too tired to move. Still, it was like no one noticed. No one clapped for me. I remember one evening, I brought tea for my father and my elder brother after a long, exhausting day. My hands were shaking from the heat. My father didn't even look at me. He just said, "Why didn't you bring biscuits with it?" That one sentence broke me. When I graduated, I had two options. 1. Stay and suffocate in silence. 2. Leave and try to breathe again. So I left. Not because I hated them, but I loved my future more. I went abroad, a new country, new language, new life, but no family, no friends. Just me and Allah. I worked like a machine day and night, sometimes 3 jobs. My feet swelled. My eyes burned, but I had one dream, to build a better life, a peaceful home, a place where I could be seen. And then she came into my life. I found her, or maybe she found me. A woman with a heart full of dew and eyes that reminded me of peace. She saw what no one else did. She saw me. We got engaged. Finally, I felt like I had someone who was truly mine. Not out of blood, but out of love. Even at this moment, pain wasn't done with me yet. I went home after a long time. My heart was soft, hopeful. But when I entered the house, nothing had changed. They still favored my brother. Even at the dinner table, my father asked him to sit beside him every night. I wasn't even offered a seat. They spoke about his achievements. They never asked how many nights I had bled through my shoes at work. Then came the biggest wound. They didn't want me to spend money on my own wedding. Why waste it? They said. But they had spent so much on my brother's wedding, who didn't even earn a rupee at that time. That night, I sat in the garden alone, under the stars, crying quietly so no one would see how broken I really was. I had to go back abroad again, to start the family visa process for my wife. But deep inside, I knew if I left her in that house, she would face what I did or worse. So I made a painful decision. I left her with her parents. And that broke my family's heart. Or their pride, I don't know. But they stopped calling. They stopped caring. I became more alone than ever. I'd sleep beside cold walls and whisper her name in my sujud. Ya Allah, I did everything right. Why does it still hurt so much? I spent thousands trying to bring my wife to me. Every rejection letter felt like someone had torn my dream into pieces. My savings dried up. My bank account cried with me. I couldn't even afford to fix the heater in my tiny apartment. Some nights, I slept in jackets under a thin blanket with no heat. No family, no joy. I felt like a failure as a husband. But my wife, she never complained. She said, "It's not your fault. Yusuf, we are in this together. Allah will right our ease." And that one sentence kept me breathing. That winter, something in me broke, but something greater awakened. I woke up for tahajjud, not just for DUA, but to survive. I cried in sujud. Sometimes I screamed into the carpet I picked. Ya Allah, if this is my test, please don't let it be in vain. Please turn this pain into a miracle. I did istighfar every day, even for the sins I didn't remember. I worked. I fasted. I gave whatever little charity I could. And I loved my wife through distance, silence, and pain. And one day, it happened. I received a letter. Visa approved. Just like that. After years. No warning. No explanation. Just approved. I dropped to my knees and wept like a child. Not because the letter came, but because Allah heard me. Because Allah never forgets his servants. Because every tear I shed in sujud was counted. My wife arrived. We built our little home together, simple, but filled with light. I found a new job, better hours, better pay. I was finally able to give her the life she always dreamed of, and she still looked at me like I was enough, even when we had nothing. My relationship with my parents improved slowly. Allah softened their hearts. And for the first time in my life, I heard my father say to someone, "Yusuf is the strongest of all my sons." I cried that night, not because I needed his praise anymore, but because I finally didn't. If you're watching this, and you feel like you're invisible, if you've cried in silence, helped others, sacrificed, and no one ever clapped for you. Let me tell you something from the heart of a forgotten son. Allah sees you. Every DUA, every tear, every moment you held your tongue when you wanted to scream. You are not alone. Allah is never blind to your pain. And when the time is right, Allah will write your miracle too. So cry in sujud. Stay kind, stay firm, and believe that Allah saves the best for those who are patient. My name is Yusuf, and I was forgotten by people, but I was always remembered by our Rahman. If this story touched your heart, let it be a reminder for your soul. Subscribe for more real stories of faith, pain, and healing. May Allah bless you with your own miracle. Ameen.